called it mercy. A purple titan in armor, whispering philosophy while casually committing galactic-scale genocide. Thanos didn't want to rule, he wanted to correct. He wasn't a tyrant in his own mind, he was a savior, a cosmic therapist with a god complex and a sparkly glove. He said it was for balance. He said the universe was overpopulated. He said life needed a reset. But here's the thing, you don't get to kill half of existence and call it minimalism. So today, we ask, was Thanos a visionary with the courage to act, or just an emotionally stunted space warlord who used PowerPoint logic to justify mass extinction? Welcome to the trial of Thanos, son of Aylas, a man who thought genocide was self-care. Let the prosecution begin. Exhibit A, the Mad Titan's math. Thanos believed the universe had a resource problem, so he built a solution, not sustainability, not technology, not sharing, nah. He built a plan so lazy it would make a freshman philosophy major blush. 50% of all life snapped into ash because he read one Reddit post about overpopulation and never got a second opinion. He didn't consult scientists, he didn't run simulations, he didn't even try targeted policy reform. Just snap instant dust. Entire civilizations, ecosystems, and species gone based on vibes. He didn't eliminate inequality, he just halved the chaos and called it peace. That's not logic, that's cosmic scale, lazy problem solving. He killed parents, children, essential workers, support dogs, all because his mental math said the universe was full. This isn't population control, it's intergalactic murder cosplay with bad statistics. And his solution was so fundamentally flawed that the universe spent 5 years grieving, traumatized, and farming in silence. Charge 1. Mass genocide based on unverified economic theories. Exhibit B. Parenting with a soul stone. Let's talk about Gamora, his daughter, his favorite, his little one, who he kidnapped from a slaughter, raised her to be a killer, pitted her against her sister, turned sibling rivalry into an arms race. He told her he loved her, then threw her off a cliff because his magic rock collection said, sacrifice someone you love. And instead of, volunteering himself, he dragged his daughter to a mountain and yeeted her into a canyon with a tear. And people still say, but he really cried. Yeah, sociopaths cry. That's not a defense. Thanos treated love like it was a discount code. He could cash in for ultimate power. That's not sacrifice. That's emotional abuse in space armor. He didn't raise Gamora. He trained her like a weapon, then broke her like a toy. And when she finally escaped him, he chased her through time like a narcissistic GPS system. Charge 2. Filicide via mystic ritual and decades of weaponized parenting. Exhibit C. The snap. Let's revisit the snap. The iconic moment, the glove, the glare, the sound. He raises his hand like a conductor and boom! Half of life turns to dust. But here's the part no one talks about. How random it really was. Doctors mid-surgery, gone. Pilots mid-flight, gone. Parents with kids in their arms, gone. He didn't target based on wealth, corruption, power, carbon footprint. He went with the 50-50 coin toss like this was a galactic raffle. There's no mercy in statistical genocide. You don't get to claim moral high ground when you turn families into trauma piles because you didn't feel like problem solving. And after the snap, he retires, chills in a cabin, makes soup, watches sunsets like a war criminal on vacation. There's no rebuilding, no follow-up, just, well, my job here is done. He calls himself inevitable, but he's not. He's avoidable. He's what happens when unchecked intellect meets zero empathy. And he left the universe in ruins because he was too proud to use the Mind Stone for therapy instead. Charge 3. Arbitrary mass extinction with no ethical targeting system. Exhibit D, his retirement arc. After destroying half the universe, Thanos becomes a farmer. Seriously, he turns off his genocide gauntlet, settles on a remote planet, and starts picking vegetables. Like he didn't just cause the largest mass trauma event in history. He doesn't check on the universe, doesn't offer help, doesn't even explain how he did it, so it can't happen again. He just vibes. And when the Avengers come knocking, he says, I destroyed the stones. My work is done. He doesn't feel guilt. He feels relief. Because for him, destruction was closure. This wasn't peace. It was hiding out in a garden like intergalactic OJ trying to write a memoir. He talks like a monk, acts like a cult leader, and sleeps like a man who's never had to face a therapy session in his life. He didn't want peace for others. He wanted peace from consequences. Charge 4. Desertion of responsibility. Following galactic scale harm. Exhibit E. The 2014 remix. In Endgame, the Avengers pull off time heist magic, and 2014 Thanos finds out he loses. What's his response? Oh, I fail in the future? Guess I'll just destroy everything. Not half. Everything. He goes full scorched universe like a sore loser in God mode. The moment he loses narrative control, he decides to reboot the multiverse from scratch, like an edgy film director cancelling the franchise because the reviews got too emotional. He's not trying to create peace, he's trying to erase the chance that anyone else wins. And the irony? He dies the same way he killed. A snap. Dusted by a man in a metal suit who didn't need a philosophy degree to know mass murder was bad. Charge 5. Attempted erasure of reality to avoid future loss of power. Thanos saw pain in the universe, and instead of fixing it, he halved it. Instead of compassion, he built a spreadsheet with casualties as bullet points. Instead of leadership, he chose dominance with a tragic backstory and perfect posture. He wasn't the hero, he was the problem wearing armor like a solution. He dressed genocide in purpose, he cloaked cruelty in silence, and the worst part? People believed him. Because when someone speaks softly, uses big words and doesn't yell, we mistake that for wisdom. But Thanos wasn't wise, he was comfortable. Comfortable with pain, with loss, with power, because it meant he didn't have to care. He said he was inevitable, but inevitability doesn't mean justice. It means nobody stopped him soon enough. Until now. The charges, genocidal overpopulation theories, sacrificing his daughter like a discount soul coupon, randomized death lottery with zero follow-up, cowardly gardening while billions starved, trying to re-roll reality because he got spoiled on Twitter, Thanos, Titan, tactician, philosopher, dust collector. The court sentences him to eternal reflection in the Soul Stone, where no one claps when you make soup. Up next, from one narcissist with a glove to another with a suit, the spotlight shifts to a billionaire genius who thought saving the world was just another brand strategy. Let's see if the armor can protect him from a guilty verdict.